Dengue, Malaria, Sanatan.
Two pictures on your screen, two contrasting responses, two different perspectives, and two different reactions. There have been countless instances when leaders and celebrities have ridiculed Sanatan Dharma openly and have faced no consequences. Udhayanidhi Stalin, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister MK Stalin's son's recent hate speech is one such instance. The POWER-DRUNK DMK Cabinet Minister not only compared Sanatan Dharma with diseases like dengue and malaria and called for its eradication, but insisted on not apologizing when confronted with the same.
சிலவற்றை நாம் ஒழிக்கத்தான் வேண்டும், எதிர்க்க முடியாது. கொசு, டெங்கு காய்ச்சல், மலேரியா, கொரோனா இதையெல்லாம் நம்ம எதிர்க்கக்கூடாது, ஒழித்து கட்ட வேண்டும். அப்படிதான் இந்த சனாதனம்.
Now let's go back in time. A year back, a well-known politician and lawyer Nupur Sharma when strongly stood against the offensive remarks made against Hinduism in a news debate. Not only her remarks were met with harsh rebuke and death threats, but she was also forced to live in complete isolation. And up to this day, Nupur Sharma resides in an undisclosed location due to the persistent threats to her life. Though she has been granted protection, her public life as a lawyer and a politician remains severely restricted despite the security, and she can only make selective appearances at events and is unable to fully resume her public life just because some extremists are still vying for her blood. Why this hypocrisy? Namaskar, I'm Shreya Sabachay and you're watching The Big Debate. On 26th May 2022, Nupur Sharma, a politician and a former spokesperson of BJP in a TV debate over the Gyan Vapi, slammed fellow panelist Taslim Ahmed Rahmani, president of the Muslim Political Council of India, for continuously mocking Hindu beliefs and insulting the Hindu god Shiva during the debate. Sharma lashed out at Rahmani and asked how he would react if similar comments were made about his own religion. In response to the continuous insult and disrespect towards the Hindu god Shiva, Sharma merely quoted a word from Hadith. However, on the following day, Mohammad Zubair, the self-proclaimed fact-checker and co-founder of Alt News, shared a manipulated clip of Nupur Sharma's comments from the debate. In his post, he even referred to Nupur as a rabid communal hate monger. And the amplification of that incident directly led to the brutal murders of two individuals by Islamic extremists just for supporting Nupur Sharma. The manipulated clip had gone viral in no time, sparking a global reaction within the Islamic world, prompting a united denunciation of Bharat. No one could even quote her statement, let alone support it. And those who dared to do so were immediately met with a barrage of death threats by the Sar Tan Se Juda gang. A case was registered against Nupur Sharma. However, radical elements continued to deliver provocative speeches against her.
If anything happens to myself, or rather more importantly, any of my family members or my immediate circle, let it be known 150% Mohammad Zubair is to be held responsible. You can take it as like a dying declaration if you may, but it's a fact. Wholly and solely, Mohammad Zubair should be held culpable, should be tried and booked for vitiating atmosphere, for misleading, for misrepresenting, for spearheading and leading a charade, an unending onslaught of beheading, death, rape threats against me and my family members.
But what's shocking is that in addition to the beheading threats, the global terrorist organization Al-Qaeda also directed threats towards Sharma. The pressure escalated to such an extent that Nupur Sharma was ultimately sacked from her position within her own party, the BJP. But why is that? Nupur Sharma's comment was deemed as hate speech, while Stalin's statement, where he compared Sanatan Dharma to gruesome diseases and called for the eradication of an entire community, has been advocated for at multiple forums, despite the fact that his comments check all the boxes for being categorized as hate speech. Now, what's striking is the apparent hypocrisy and duality in how these two cases are being perceived by our esteemed political leaders, the ever-enlightened international media, a section of pseudo-secularists, and even the Indian judiciary. You can notice how anyone can freely quote the hate comments made by the DMK prince without fearing any dire consequences. Unbounded discourses are making their way into social media, contemplating the rights and wrongs of his statement. The hypocrites who were quick to condemn Sharma and even cheered on the death and rape threats against her now seem to have a newfound sensitivity when it comes to Udhayanidhi Stalin's hate speech. Suddenly, the very individuals who vehemently demanded severe punishment for Sharma over her alleged hate speech are now conveniently advocating the freedom of speech and expression in the name of hate speech. Speaking of the judiciary's role, in Nupur's case, Bharat's top court took suo motu cognizance, rebuking her for her comments claiming that her loose tongue had set the entire country on fire and blamed only her for igniting the violence across the country. She was even suggested to appear on national TV and apologize to the whole nation for her remarks. On the other hand, MK Stalin's son, Udhayanidhi Stalin, even after getting multiple chances to issue an apology for his remarks, rather went on to defend his stance with baseless facts. In fact, other members of the party like A. Raja and K. Ponmudi continued with their vilified attacks on Sanatan Dharma, where they yet again compared it to diseases carrying social stigma such as HIV and leprosy.
மலேரியாவுக்கும் டெங்குக்கும் சோசியல் ஸ்டிக்மா இல்ல, அது ஒரு அருவருப்பா சமூகம் பார்க்கல. எங்களை பொறுத்தவரை ஹெச்ஐவி தொழுநோயை போல ஹெச்ஐவி போல சமூக அவலம் நிறைந்த ஒரு நோயாகத்தான் நம்ம பார்க்கிறோம்.
Some of the DMK leaders are now diligently providing academic context to the hate speeches of Udhayanidhi Stalin and A. Raja. In fact, they're going the extra mile, offering explanations to justify Stalin's hateful and inflammatory speech. Meanwhile, amid the mounting pressure on the India alliance to either condemn or condone the statement, the current Minister for Higher Education of Tamil Nadu, K. Ponmudi, unequivocally declared that the India alliance was, without a shadow of a doubt, created with a sole objective, and that is to abolish Sanatan Dharma.
பத்திரிகைகளின் மூலமாக ஊடகங்களின் மூலமாக நம்முடைய இந்த சனாதன எதிர்ப்பு கொள்கையை இந்தியா என்ற இங்கே எல்லாம் நண்பர்களும் சொல்லிவிட்டார்கள். இந்த இந்தியா என்பது ஒரு சனாதன கொள்கைக்கு எதிர்ப்பாக உருவாக்கப்பட்டிருக்கிற கூட்டணி தான் இந்தியா. இதற்குள் கருத்து வேறுபாடுகள் இருக்கலாம், ஆனால் இந்த சனாதனத்தை எதிர்க்க வேண்டும் என்பதிலே யாருக்கும் எந்த வேறுபட்ட கருத்தும் இல்லை. இதில் இருப்பவர்கள் எல்லாம் சமத்துவத்தை உருவாக்க வேண்டும், மத சிறுபான்மை சமுதாயத்தை காப்பாற்ற வேண்டும், ஆண் பெண் சமத்துவத்தை காப்பாற்ற வேண்டும். இந்த சமூக சிந்தனையோடு இந்த இயக்கத்தை உருவாக்க வேண்டும் என்பதுதான் இன்று 26 கட்சிகள் உருவாகி இருக்கிற இந்த இந்தியா கூட்டணியினுடைய நோக்கம். அவை வந்திருக்கிற நீங்கள் எல்லாம் நாம் என்னதான் சமூகத்திலே நாம் எவ்வளவு செஞ்சாலும் அரசியல் நாம் வெற்றி பெற்ற அங்க உட்கார்ந்தாதான் இதெல்லாம் செய்ய முடியும்.
Following Stalin's hate speech, a total of 260 eminent individuals, including former judges and bureaucrats, appealed to the Chief Justice of Bharat, D.Y. Chandrachud, asking to take up a suo motu notice of contempt against Udhayanidhi. Unfortunately, the judiciary has seemingly turned a blind eye to the present crisis, almost reflecting the society's pseudo-secular nature whenever the victim is the Hindu faith. To refresh your memories, Nupur Sharma was immediately chastised for her remarks by the interpreters of the law who at the time engaged in appeasement of external forces, whereas in this case, there have been no signs of any warnings or formal apprehension of Stalin's anti-Hindu remarks. In a very unsettling way, Stalin's statement reeked of the same emotions which were invoked by Adolf Hitler's comments about Jews in Nazi Germany. In September 1919, Hitler objectified the Jews to a race and not a religion. He characterized the Jewish people as a mere presence signifying the disease of tuberculosis, and further stated that it was the goal of the German government to remove the Jews altogether. Interestingly, the BJP, in one of its social media posts, drew parallels between Stalin Jr.'s statement with that of Adolf Hitler. Now think of this. Have the sentiments of nearly 80% of Bharat become so inconsequential that anyone can casually mock their age-old traditions and rich culture? And for what? All for the sake of political gain and to earn some brownie points? What Udhayanidhi has failed to understand is that his disparaging comments are not just directed to a religion, but to the existence of the humanity at large. It is a pity that his ignorance has reflected on how little he and his peers rallying behind his stance really know about Sanatan, the very essence of life, one that goes beyond religious boundaries and one's faith. There have been multiple instances in the past when the Hindu faith came under attack, sometimes by pseudo-secular activists, sometimes by politicians who were vying for the minority vote bank, and even through external forces who clearly benefited from these sectarian tactics to break Bharat. In some of the previous episodes, we had discussed how caste had been used by a certain section of society as a tool to denounce the sanctity of the Hindu Dharma. How from time immemorial an anti-Hindu narrative has been built in the garb of anti-Brahmanism. But now suddenly, the attack has encompassed the entire Sanatan Dharma, which clearly indicates that Stalin's statements were made after rigorous deliberations and orchestrated so to stir the whole foundation on which Bharat stands. This is the first time that their intentions have come to the fore, an open declaration to diminish the Bharatiya culture, the ethos on which Hinduism and the origins of our motherland stand. The India Alliance is hatching a bigger conspiracy, taking advantage of the liberal and tolerant attitude of the Hindu faith, which has been the niche of this vibrant democracy. It seems that this unholy India Alliance is now trying to completely eradicate the indigenous religious traditions of Bharat in the name of empowering the minorities of the country.